Good morning, everybody, and welcome back. Or if you're new here, welcome to another edition of Kingly Conversations. Hey, this week we got another hot one for you. But before we get into all that, Zoe's got some shout outs.
Yo, what up? You know what time it is. Hey, I want to shout out to Oh Lord Mentoring, all right? And if you want to reach out, go to the website, ohlordmentoring.org. Also, I want to shout out to Soulfire Clothing, all right? Good apparel. Hey, check them out on the website, soulfireclothing.com.
All right. Hey, this week we talking about mass shootings. So strap in, let the Kings talk about it. All right, good people. Hey, welcome back to another edition of Kingly Conversations, man. And like I am every single week, I'm Alan.
Yo, what up? It's your boy Twine. Holla at your boy. You know what time it is, a.k.a. Hey.
It's your friend, your mentor, Calvin D. Hill. He gets more and more animated every other show.
Working my way up.
I see.
Wait till season 17. I don't know what we're going to get. It's going to be going Super
Saiyan.
Saiyan.
I know, right? He's going to be in outer space somewhere.
Yeah, I'm just joking. Anyway, what's today's topic, gentlemen? Hopefully everybody's good. Food's digested and all that other good stuff. What's up with you, man? What's going on?
What's the topic, Calvin?
Let's get serious. Let's talk about it.
I'm sorry. I did have this topic.
You did have this topic.
Today we're talking about mass shootings, and I want to send our prayers, concerns, condolences to the victims and families of the Chesapeake Walmart shooting. We do care. We love you. We're praying for you. Hope everything's in this tragic moment. Hope things do get better. Okay. Now, my question out the gate. Why do these keep happening?
Why? Okay, I'm going to jump right into it. Well, first of all, there's a lot of people going through mentally in regards of mental health-wise. All right, let's start there. Mental health.
You think that's the issue behind a lot of it?
Yes.
Mental
illness.
It's just not plain old hate.
I'm sorry, say that again.
It's just not hate. It's just not evil people in the world.
Well, to be honest with you, some from what I read, they don't have. Most okay. I wouldn't say all of it's hate. Some of it stems from hate, but not all of it. Yo, I'm distracted. Did that cup just light up?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's cool. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't think it stems from hate. Well, not all of it. Some of it, the majority of it does, but not all of it. Some people just want to see the world burn.
Yeah.
What you think, Alan?
I think there is no one single answer to the cause of mass shootings. But that would be true. I mean, there isn't, because the problem is, so some people, I don't think there is an answer to why these keep happening. I think they happen because people have opportunities to commit the heinous acts, and so they do. And I don't know that. The problem is, unless there would need to be much more money invested into both education and mental health before any of that changed. I don't know that, but I don't know that there is any one cause. Other than that, the opportunity is there to do it. Because there are some people that have gone on mass killings because they wanted to be famous.
Right. And I think that's just evil. That's just hatred. Just people just Oh, really? That's what it is.
For popularity?
For some people, it's just hatred. It's nothing mystical about it. They're just hateful people. They want, like you said, want to see the world burn. Some people have no reason, no justified reason to go kill people. They just hate and are evil.
But why?
Cut dry. I mean, it could be any number. Okay, so for in this particular case, last week, well, not even last week, a couple of days ago.
Yeah, it was.
It seems like the guy was being bullied, so he retaliated
from his perspective.
Right. That's what I'm saying, and that was his only way of dealing with it. But okay, so you can't say right, wrong, or indifferent, right or wrong. Nobody deserves it, obviously, but that's the way he felt he needed to deal with it, and that happens. Okay, Virginia Beach, the one in Virginia Beach years ago, about 2 years ago, he went after his coworkers because he felt like they were picking on him, they were bullying him. That was his response. Was it right? No, I don't think it was right. I feel like everybody should be able to handle it differently. But to me, that's hatred. That's evil. I have to go kill people because you mistreat me or you talk about me. It's not a self-defense act. It's not like you were threatening me. You were. It's just not the way to me. And just my opinion. That's not the way you handle things. That's just.
Well, I believe that I'm gonna just say it, man. A lot of people are just sensitive, man, and it's gotten to the point where they feel as if you can't do this and you can't do that because, like for example, this gentleman that was at the Walmart, well, the shooter at the Walmart, he felt the manager. He felt as if he was being picked. He was being picked on. Okay, in regards of his religion and his faith, that's where he was going with that. According to the reading and documentation of his phone, and I'm getting this from sources like CNN and Wavy TV 10 and things of that nature. So I can't really say if this is actually true or not.
Yeah, you hope they.
I hope it is because they're supposed to be credible sources. So based upon his faith and religion, he felt as if they were out of line, they were out of pocket, and that was his only way of fixing the problem.
What was his faith?
He was a Christian.
Ooh.
Yeah. According to this reading, I can.
According to what the letter was that he wrote, you would. Yeah. That's the only thing you can
go upon.
Infer.
At the moment.
Yeah.
I sent the information to you, so you can check that out when you get a chance. So yeah, he was bullied. He was being bullied. His faith was being questioned. It also says that, I'm paraphrasing. It also says that they went through his phone, and that was
his coworkers.
His coworkers got into his phone, and whatever that was in there, he felt humiliated to the point where it got to this. I think that was according to this, that was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Sometimes I wonder, and I mean, I'm not there, so I obviously don't know, but I wonder if they even got into his phone, or because some people have said that he sounded paranoid, in the letter.
Conspiracy theory.
Or if he felt like somebody got in his phone.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Nobody deserves to die over this.
I mean, I would agree. But that's what he decided he needed to do.
And that's why you say mental illness for a lot of these issues.
I mean, that along with other things, he said that he was according to what I'm reading, where he felt he felt as if the government was watching him, so he would wrap his phone in black tape and things of that nature. So it was much more than yeah. So if you read or just look up the information, you can get the details. But mental illness, man, contributed, I believe, to this and to mass shootings in general. You have to. There's something that has to be unscrewed or too tight in the brain mentally. I'm trying to using it as a metaphor, but there has to be something that would allow you to get to this point.
You feel like you have no other. I have no other options.
I mean, there's a lot of people out there like that. As far as
I just have to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep, 100%.
I mean, we feel like we got options, but they, everybody's not Calvin.
But even but in some cases, to me, again, I stick to hatred and evilness. What those little kids have to do with the shooting when the guy walked into the school? What the kid did to them? Nothing. But hatred.
You had power over them kids. They won't go walk in. And I haven't seen anybody yet walk into a police station and start shooting.
Right.
You walk into a place where you know
power.
you're
gonna get your head tore off.
Maybe they should try that.
Man, these people ain't stupid.
I'm not saying they should actually try that.
I'm sorry.
Walk into a police station.
I'm sorry. They know what they're doing.
Just give you
mentally ill.
I understand what you're saying, and let me ask you before I say this. Are you saying that mental illness shouldn't be used as an excuse? Is that what you're saying?
In some cases, I think it's hatred. It's really just hatred and evilness.
Okay.
Now, if you want to call that mental illness, then okay, I'll go with it.
Okay.
But the innocent, they had nothing to do with that. And it could be, like you said, it could be a screw loose or something slightly off. And we got to do better about that. I don't know how. I don't know if they would have some kind of testing before you go register or purchase a gun and all the other stuff, but won't come.
Speaking of,
it's fine.
Do you believe that there should be more restriction in gun control? Is that what you're saying? As far as having
I think that's what's going to happen anyway. I don't know if that will solve the problem because you're trying to say, oh, it's this high-powered rifle that's the problem. Okay, some of these shootings were with handguns.
Mm-hmm.
The one at Walmart was with a handgun.
Right, so you can't just say it's this particular style of gun.
It's just a gun, period.
Right, it's the people. It's the people using the weapon.
You can't behind the gun.
Yeah, if you can't figure that one out, and I think that's the biggest challenge is figuring people out to say this is why these are the common mental states of these people. These are the common issues surrounding these shooters, and all of them are very different.
Mm-hmm.
It's different. So how to figure that out, it's almost impossible to try to figure out why these keep happening or how to stop it or prevent it.
So is there no standard definition?
No, there isn't, but we kind of use the four people rule?
Three or more.
3 or more to classify as a mass shooting.
3 or more killings in a single incident. Although now it seems like they're lumping in injury with killings. Because I looked at the stats that you pulled up, and a lot of those were Injury.
Yeah.
There might have been no one killed, but there were injury. There were 6, 10, 12 injuries, and that was still classified. So it's a fluid definition. It changes because there is no one single definition. So it does change. And depending on the news outlet, they might report it differently.
As far as the data showing that regardless of how one defines mass shootings, perpetrators are likely to be men. Is that because there's a lack of media exposure, or is that just a general fact?
I think that's a general fact because I haven't heard I haven't heard of many
Like a
women.
mass.
Yeah, from women. I really haven't heard that. I need to look that up. But
Yeah,
typically, they're most men that would create do a heinous act like that.
It is generally men that do it. I can't think of, even looking through the data, I can't think of maybe one or two that where it wasn't a man, and that's going back 20, 30 years, where it wasn't a male person that did it.
Gotcha.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if that means there's something wrong with men in the world, or what, but that's a problem.
Well, I mean, it could be. I mean, it could also, who knows? But this is why, instead of just dealing with the how, we need to figure out the why.
The why.
It's a low number. It's
less than
low.
10?
Yeah, less than 10.
What, women?
This is based in, let's see, man, between 1982 and November of this year.
What?
By standard. So it's a big gap in numbers. We're talking 132 male statistic wise compared to 3.
3.
And then male and female is 2. And that's that's a
Bonnie and Clyde.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's something I didn't even know. But I'm glad you put it in there. So that is actually statistically, that is true.
Yeah, that most men will create. Well, hey, men, we got a problem. We need to get it together.
Emotional damage.
And I think that might have a lot to do with it.
Of course.
That pressure of being a man. Not saying it's right.
Pressure of being a man.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
dude.
Or it's not. It's easy, huh? Oh, it's easy there.
I'm talking about
problem.
me. I ain't talking about the rest of these, man.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Let me stop. I can't portray that I have it all, but I think the issue with men and the whole emotional, mental illness, the pride, the ego of going to get the help needed to help prevent such things as mass shootings and domestic violence and all this other stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just my personal opinion.
Sure. I think some of it even is pride and ego getting to the point where they would commit such a crime. I mean, because you have to have an unmet expectation. Like that people shouldn't, and because sometimes I find that people weren't even necessarily treating you a way. Now I will say, in terms of the school shooting, like, children are terrible creatures. They really are. Children are bullies. They are, man. Children are bullies. I mean, they just whatever they think comes out their mouth sometimes, right? So they haven't developed any type of filters. And so I can see, in that environment getting bullied, but I don't know how. Like I said, I feel like you have to have. So you had an expectation, or that people shouldn't treat you the way, or they should be treating me this way, and they're not, and those expectations weren't met, and so your only recourse in your mind is, well, I'm gonna eliminate them.
Yeah, that's not it.
Not really. And maybe it's just because I don't know that I don't know what it would take for me to get to the same place as somebody that would commit one of these crimes. Because I tell anybody, I believe that anybody is capable of anything. It's just, what is that breaking point? Mm-hmm. What is it gonna? And it may be so far off that it's almost impossible for them to get to it in life. But everybody, I think, has some level of a breaking point. It's just, where is that line?
Right.
And for some people, it's far closer than others.
I don't believe this chart. I was looking at some information trying to get the logistics on mass shootings per country. So
believe that chart.
Believe the chart for real?
Well, I mean, because
what does it say?
What does it say?
Well, America is like 11th.
In mass shootings?
Yeah.
That's
annual death rate per million. See, this in public shootings. That's not what I'm looking for. All right. Anyway, but On that topic.
So if we're looking, I mean, I put something in. It doesn't have a chart with it, but you can look at one of the bullet points in the notes.
Okay.
There.
But one of them is United States have had the most mass shootings in 2000. Well, the study was made in 2016.
31% of them. 31% of the world's mass shootings are in the U.S. Even though we have less than 5% of the population.
So what are we doing here in the U.S. that's either allowing or triggering or producing this idea that we need to go shoot up people?
Some of it is just opportunity. You have, in terms of shooting, because it's very difficult to have like a mass stabbing or a mass sorting. It's not really easy to do. But you can walk out of the door to my house with a Glock and a shaved trigger and a 30-round magazine, and that's 30 people.
Right.
So, although the 30-round magazine would be illegal,
Definitely.
it doesn't mean somebody's not going to still go and do that. Because once you make that decision, unless it's a crime of this happened, this is how I responded, like immediate, like because I saw when I was about a car accident where it's like, boom, boom, this happened and this happened. But otherwise, a lot of these people planned this, so you prepared, which means you might be you're either not going to make it out alive or you're going to jail, and you know that going in the door. It's not like I'm gonna commit this mass shooting and I'm gonna get away. No, not in 2022. You ain't. Right. There's too many cameras in too many places, and because I remember there was I remember listening to the police scanner one day, and there was a shooting, and they were like, I see one of the police officers over the radio was like, hey, I see a lot of Ring doorbell cameras. We're gonna see if we can get these people to give us the footage from these. So you're on camera all the time. It just, you may not recognize it. I mean, when I go walking around the neighborhood, I hear all the whistles from the security systems. When you walk by the camera and it whistles at you. So I know all of these cameras are out there. But most people probably just go through their day oblivious to how often they're on video surveillance.
Mm-hmm. Do y'all think the pandemic contributed to the jump start in the violence in America?
I think it changed the way we respond to a lot of issues and how we process it. It hasn't been a study. I haven't found a study on it yet, but I do believe that plays a big factor into the mental state of a lot of people.
Did you find something that said it was worse since the pandemic?
Well, since the pandemic, it imposed financial strain and psychological, so it basically amplified the fear, isolation, and things of that nature of people getting like twice the amount of guns per 100 people in the country than any other country.
I think people buying twice the amount. I think that's also a complex issue.
Because that was a thing. A lot of people were talking about, I got to get some ammunition.
Yeah, I got to get guns.
It got to the point where there was
because all the riots and
the
storm on the Capitol and all these other issues.
But it was also because they had been also lied to and told that Joe Biden was going to take all their guns. And that was right. That was so you had the start of the pandemic, and then a year into the pandemic, we changed presidents, and the incoming president is going to take all your guns. So everybody went out, and there was a run. The first year there was a run on the guns, and then there was a second run on the guns when a Democrat was going to be president. And they ain't changed it. So
got it.
But people, anytime there's any type of crisis, that's what people do. They run to buy guns because the fear is that they won't be able to buy one. And I guess, sure. My thing is, people that believe in conspiracies are always crazy until they're right one time.
Until they're right one time?
Until they're right one time.
And then it's, I told you.
That's it. It's like, I told you the world was going in. We 30 million years down the road. Like, bro, you was wrong for 30 million years. Now you're right? Yeah, so eventually you're going to be right. But you might go to your grave being wrong.
Wow. I just say gun violence in America in general it's a problem. It's definitely a problem.
It's easy. You used to get in the fisticuffs. Now you're getting in the shootouts.
So, as a way to fix it, we're going to put more regulation and restrictions on
They ain't gonna do that.
the gun control.
They ain't
We're
gonna do
going
that.
to change the age and
They ain't gonna do that.
change the rounds and change the.
They ain't gonna do that.
In what world, what universe will you think that America would change the law, the gun control laws?
I think you would have to see something extreme. Something extreme would have to happen.
So mass shootings is not extreme?
No, it's not. Not extreme enough.
No.
The last time I can remember any meaningful action was taken was when they tried to kill Reagan. And that was the Brady Bill.
Okay. So it has to be.
Yeah.
So they got to try to kill. They got to try to kill the president, and he did that with a revolver. He was out there with a revolver, and they started coming for it. Then they started making all these regulations.
Okay.
Like now, you would have to see, like the school situation.
Mm-hmm.
You have to see more of those. People would change their mind if you fed it to them right. Yeah, they would change their mind. If the January 6th incident, right? Let's say the people had guns going into the Capitol. Something like that would change it.
Now listen,
That would change it immediately. That would be no question asked.
It wouldn't
Yes.
They were
Yes,
out
it
there.
would. Yes, it
Were
would.
they not
wouldn't
out
even-
there?
it wouldn't even be
No, they
immediate.
didn't have guns.
They didn't
They didn't have guns.
They didn't have guns.
They didn't have guns out there. No,
They didn't have guns inside.
That's what I'm saying. They didn't have guns inside, but there was definitely guns outside.
not like that.
I'm sure there were guns outside. I'm sure there were guns out there on the grass.
Probably on but I mean, like, no joke.
They
Storming.
didn't storm with the
They
guns.
didn't storm with the guns.
Got it. Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
They stormed with flagpoles,
Right,
and
flag
trash
poles
cans,
and would let in and say, "Hey, come on in."
Got it.
But so the Brady Bill was signed into law in '93. Reagan got shot in '81. So even then, when it took 12 years
For the law to change.
for stuff to change,
Gotcha.
and that wasn't even that's what established the waiting period before you could purchase a gun, and the instant criminal background checks. Was the Brady Bill? It was somebody trying to kill Ronald Reagan that got background checks and the mandatory waiting period for purchasing a gun.
All legal. All legal. All legal.
What do you mean all legal?
You said that he went through the process of getting one and a gun?
No, I'm saying that's what established it. The Brady
Oh,
Bill
okay,
established
okay, I
it.
got you.
Prior to that, there was
There
no
wasn't
waiting period.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
And there was no background check. But
All
then
right.
that established background check. So unless somebody tries to run up on the president, because we already know you can kill senators in a baseball field and they haven't done anything.
Jeez. That's crazy.
You can shoot at senators in a baseball field and they go back to work the next day.
All right, in closing, I had a conversation with someone, and their argument was that America should follow suit with other countries as far as having a no-gun, a law where you couldn't own guns.
They can't do that.
That's like saying, get rid of the police. To me,
They can't do that. They can't do that in this country.
that extreme. Yep.
Really?
Yeah. To me,
I don't think
That would be
it's the
foolish.
same as getting rid of the police.
that would be foolish.
I mean,
to
'cause the
me,
police
it would be
can't-
foolish.
Like, so for the police, they would carry like
Right. That would be foolish.
bat and sticks.
Well, in other countries, the police don't carry weapons by default.
Gotcha.
Some countries
Right,
actually
so
have
if
to
you're
go
gonna
and check
get
the
rid of-
weapons out.
Right.
Our police carry weapons all the time, but everywhere else, that's not necessarily a thing.
I think getting rid of all of the guns in the country would be foolish. I said what I said.
Okay.
Getting rid of the police in the
I
country
have
would
no
be foolish.
I have no rebuttal.
Okay.
Yes, I do. But I guess either way, man, because unfortunately I lost all my guns in a freak boat accident
Well,
and
look,
all my ammunition.
look.
But if I was,
They
if
tightened.
the law tells me that I can't have it, whatever. If it still continues to say, hey, you can't have it with restrictions, whatever, I'm indifferent. Alan?
I don't know that we're not going to be able to get rid of them. So I mean, at the end of the day, that's where I because there are more guns than people in the United States. So we're not going to be able to, even if they tried.
Dang.
And the thing of it is that they tried to take them, then all of the Molon Labe crowd would be up in arms about tyranny, and then they really would take their guns to Washington D.C. So you're not going to be able to do it anyway, not in some one time. This is it. Give us all the stuff back, or we're putting a moratorium on sales, because they also can't put a moratorium on, say, gun sales, because that's too big of an industry. Too many taxes, too many lobbyists. So they can't really do that. So that's why I say nothing in the United States. Nothing's going to change. People just going to keep having to have a heart attack every time they send their kids to school.
Can't even go grocery shopping no more, man. That's crazy. I mean, you still can, but
you can
have that thing on your hip. Don't slip.
And the thing of it is, I mean, the problem that they had at the Walmart is these were all fellow employees. So even if you were a 2A advocate, you can't bring your gun to work while you're at work. And if you say work for a municipality like Virginia Beach, you can bring your gun to the job, but you got to leave it in the car. You can't bring a weapon into any city building.
So if you do that, you automatically cross that line.
So that's why I say that there's some level of cowardice, I think, to how these, a lot of them are perpetrated, because you're bringing guns to known gun-free zones where you can have the most effect.
Tell them about it.
Like a church. Just walking up in churches.
Come on now.
Blasting them.
Come on now. You're getting too deep.
Like I said, that's evil. Evil. That's evil. So
it's evil gun
world.
Demon.
Evil world.
It is. I mean,
everybody.
You know what we need? We need a Gundam wing. That's what we need.
A Gundam wing.
Yep. You don't watch anime, it's okay.
Oh my gosh! Did you just go there? A mechanical.
We need some mechanical crime fighters.
We had RoboCop, but that didn't last.
It didn't last.
Lord have mercy. Let's go.
That's a wrap, man. All right, man. I just, prayers and condolences to those out there who lost a loved one in any mass shooting out here in the world, and also, that's all I got, man. That's all I got.
Treat people the way you want to be treated, man. That's the big thing. Love people. Treat each other with respect. Hope for the best.
We'll see y'all next week.
Yeah.